In this video, I will be talking to you about how to store breast milk for you to use later. When a mother breastfeeds, the milk is always warm and ready for the baby to consume. Now, what if breastfeeding regularly is not possible by you? This could be because you are working or busy for any other reason. Well, in these circumstances, expressing breast milk and storing your breast milk is the best option. For the times when the mother is away from the baby, expressed milk can be stored in the refrigerator, freezer, or at room temperature for a limited amount of time. Let us discuss on the best ways to store your breast milk. To learn how to express breast milk, watch the videos on expression of breast milk and breast pump use. So, how do you store the milk after you have expressed it? You can use containers with tight-fitting lids to store your expressed breast milk. Stainless steel containers are much easier to sterilize and preferred by most doctors, as you can sterilize them in boiling water to reuse again. You can also store the expressed milk in the containers recommended along with your breast pump. However, directly expressing your milk and storing it in a feeding bottle is not what I would recommend. Milk has a tendency to get contaminated by germs, especially in warm climates like ours. Hence, we need to follow storage recommendations. You can store the containers with expressed breast milk to keep it fresh for your baby in a number of ways. Firstly, keep all the containers in a separate box, which can be easily identified and separated from the rest of the storage products. As per recommendations, you can store it at room temperature for up to 6 hours. However, this is if the room temperature is around 25 degrees centigrade or less. In warm climates such as ours, I would recommend not to keep it for more than 2 hours. You can store breast milk in an ice box cooler or thermocol box with ice packs for up to 24 hours. You can keep it in a refrigerator for up to 5 days. Again, in view of the possibility of interrupted power supply and frequent opening of the refrigerator, it may be a good idea to store milk in the fridge for only up to 2 days. When we need to store milk for a longer duration of time, you can use the freezer compartment of the refrigerator where you can store the milk for up to 2 weeks. An important tip for you to note is to remember to store the containers at the back of the fridge where it's coldest and away from meat, eggs, or uncooked foods. Let me give you a few tips to help you store breast milk better. Firstly, always label the breast milk container clearly with the date it was expressed on. Secondly, do not store breast milk in the door of the refrigerator or the freezer. This will help protect the breast milk from temperature fluctuations while opening and closing the door. Thirdly, if you don't think you will be using the freshly expressed breast milk within 4 days, freeze it right away. This will help to protect the quality of the breast milk. Also, freeze breast milk in small amounts to avoid wasting the breast milk that might not be finished. And lastly, when freezing breast milk, leave about an inch of space at the top of the container because breast milk expands as it freezes. So how will you thaw the breast milk after you have removed it from the refrigerator? Remember the first in, first out rule. Always thaw the oldest breast milk first because over time the quality of breast milk can decrease. This is why I mentioned that you need to label the containers with the date on which the breast milk was expressed. There are several ways to thaw your breast milk. Firstly, If it was in the freezer, you can transfer it to the refrigerator overnight. You can place the container of breast milk in a warm water bath. This is where using a stainless steel container can be an advantage, as you can directly warm the container in the warm water bath. Some mothers ask me if they can thaw the breast milk by heating it in a microwave. No, never do that, because microwave heating can destroy important nutrients in breast milk and create hot spots which can burn a baby's tender mouth. Once breast milk is brought to room temperature or warmed by the methods I mentioned, it should be consumed within 2 hours. Do not keep it standing for too long after thawing. Remember never to refreeze the breast milk once it has been thawed. Discard the milk which was unused after the thawing. To conclude, here are some takeaway key points I would like to give you. Firstly, you can store express breast milk in the refrigerator, freezer, or even room temperature. Just remember the timelines. Use stainless steel or glass containers with tight lids to store your express breast milk. Before feeding frozen milk to the baby, ensure the milk is thawed and it attains room temperature. Always label the containers with the date and time when you expressed the milk. Remember the first in, first out rule, where you use the oldest milk first. Once you have thawed the breast milk, do not refreeze again. Never reuse thawed milk. So, I hope after watching this video, you will be confident and able to store your breast milk in a safe and appropriate manner.